But let's talk about power prices, because big decisions, as Bronwyn has just said, Stephen, were made that Victoria is going to have to rely for even longer on coal-fired power. This is after they cheered, hooped and hollered as coal-fired power has been blown up, meaning that, whoever is producing it is going to be able to charge a pretty penny, at the same time as, of course, hundreds of billions of dollars to get us beyond where we are now, which is about 25% renewable energy. That's the number for the past 3 months out of the national energy market. But also a supplementary question, if I may, former Senator, which is climate change in this country, in and around, when it's fought on price, you lose. When it's fought on morals, you win. If 51% of people, or more than 50% of people, think their power bills are going up because of, in part, the climate change policy of your government, that's not where you want to be, right?
No, absolutely. I think that Bronwyn made some very good points there. The Victorian government's decision to delay the closure of your lawn is a very good decision. I think it rushed the closure of Hazelwood in the same way Matt Keane and the New South Wales Liberals rushed the closure of a couple of New South Wales power plants. So I think you've had Chris Minns take the lead since he got in, say, no, we're going to keep coal-fired power station open. And now, finally, the Victorian government has understood that you need baseload power, you need gas in the system, otherwise you're going to have skyrocketing prices and potential blackouts. So I think there's some important decisions that have been made by the Victorian government, and they deserve congratulations. It's never easy to scrape, and take your medicine.
Well, you better go and talk to Bowen.
Look, Chris Bowen's been advocating that we have to have a sensible path through for a long period of time.
The word Bowen and sensible do not go together in the same sentence.
So I think you're seeing that Labor is continuing to thread the needle to ensure that we both get that transition to the renewables that most Australians want, and at the same time moderate expectations, particularly from the Greens and the far left and the Teals, that there's some magic pudding, some magic way to stop all this electricity being generated and not have power blackouts.
Look,
now, that's
Stephen,
the Teal and Green position.
Your treasurer today.
Position. Labor's position is to thread the needle.
But hang on. Sorry, Bronwyn, I apologise for interrupting. I apologise to you too, Stephen. But there is a point I want to make here, which is by your own admission, Stephen, you talk about a minority government. That means that most likely a Teal or a Green is going to be required to get anything passed. Their position is 75% reduction. 75% reduction, which is only going to cause even greater problems to the energy market and greater problems. Albo can't turn around and say one thing before an election, do something after, because we all know what happened when Gillard did that.
Labor's position is we'll do no deals with the Greens, and I can't imagine we'll do a deal with any Teals. Okay. So
you only want so you think you can lose 3 seats, so you can get Katter, Sharkey and Helen Haynes.
So let's again be clear. What you're referring to when you say the Greens' position is 75%, that's not the law, and that's not going to be the law. The government will negotiate with different groups on different policies and different pieces of legislation. But no one's going to vote for the Greens legislation that you've just talked about. Nobody, not the Liberal Party, not Labor. But we can all sit here and wait till 2040 when, Peter Dutton's miraculous nuclear power stations will be built, and in 2040 you might get cheaper power, according to Peter Dutton. Don't believe it. If you want to believe that, I've got a Harbour Bridge I want to sell you, Bronwyn.
Well, we've got a Prime Minister now who can't promise it for the next 3 years, let alone your 2040. All right, Bronwyn, 30 seconds and then I'm off to break, and then we'll get into round 2.
Right, well, that's the point I'm going to make, that the Treasurer, the snake charmer, he couldn't even say that prices would be stable, let alone reduced. The only way you can reduce it is the way I put at the beginning. There's got to be more efficient coal-fired power stations by putting the maintenance into them and facing the fact that without that we will have blackouts.